have Jim Walden here in our studio today. He's the former federal prosecutor, longtime attorney in private practice as well. He's running for mayor of New York City as an independent, which is not impossible. You can win. Ask Mike Bloomberg. He did that years ago, right? So you're running. What do you make of, first of all, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Congestion pricing debate. I mean, a lot of people get worked up, right? Some guy on one night that's been working great. The traffic's down, but the president wants to kill it. So let's start there.
Yeah, so I think it was the wrong time for congestion pricing. Everyone can agree on the goals. We want less congestion. We want less carbon. But if you're going to do something like that, you start with planning, then you go with carrots, then you go with sticks, right? They went right to sticks, and there was a lot of political machinations there. I would have started with planning, doing things like taking parking garages out of the zone that I wanted to clear,
right? Then
offering incentives to drivers to get out of their cars and doing it at a safe time, not in an epic crisis.
You kind of split the difference.
Yeah,
on this. It's like you're with the president that it's not right, but you don't want to get rid of it forever. Which you would work on something longer term, maybe.
I would work on something. I would get rid of, if it was up to me and it's not up to the mayor, I would get rid of congestion pricing and I would replace it with something better.
Is that your whole thing, just being kind of the moderate in this race, the moderate voice in this race? Because this is a Democratic city, of course. The mayor's got his own issues, but someone like Andrew Cuomo comes in and says he's the moderate in this race. How does that? How do you win in New York? I know Mike Bloomberg did it, but how do you win in New York?
So
like you are.
You win in New York because the races like Lindsay's, like Giuliani's, like Bloomberg's, they won because centrist Democrats got sick and tired of the Democratic Party. It's gone in cycles, and we're in a cycle now. People are disgusted with leadership. They want.
Why? Crime?
Crime, corruption, affordability. All of these issues are things that have people very frustrated. We're going to work, we're paying our taxes, we're doing our job. There's no crisis in New York City other than our government. Our government is causing most of the crisis by either scandal, inattention, incompetence, or inaction. So they want, I believe that, and this is why I ran, that centrist Democrats and Republicans want a competent leadership that will not get embroiled in scandal and that can bring vision and integrity back to the city.
So you take a little bit from both, right? You have a background in the law.
I
so
do.
What are you're a little bit more liberal on social issues and conservative on economic issues, or it's not that simple?
No, I think that's a fair summary of it.
So lower taxes and things like that, or? I
would like to be the first mayor that aspires to lower taxes rather than even Bloomberg raise them 18% because of the
because we don't hear that a lot in New York.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that I can do it, but that's a goal that I have.
But what about crime and immigration? Those are the two issues that I think came up in the federal election that translated into this city as well, which was interesting.
So on crime, 100%, we have to get the city safer. We've got to support cops. We're down many police officers. By the end of this year, we're going to probably be down 10,000 police officers while we have a ballooning overtime budget. And we have mentally ill people on the street. That's one of the significant problems. We have to come together to have solutions, and I'm going to get that job done.
Now, you worked, as a final thing, I want to ask you about this because it happened today. You worked as a prosecutor here in New York for, was it the Southern or Eastern District?
Eastern for 9 years.
In Eastern, in Brooklyn, right?
Yep.
So you worked down in the Eastern District, and you had a successful career in private practice in the law as well. You were here, I think, in the building or just walking in when we saw the president at the Department of Justice making that speech today. I mean, I thought, wow, we haven't seen something like this. We've seen a president at the Department of Justice, but someone who knows as much about the law and has practiced it for so long. What did you make of that political speech today?
Well, there are two parts of it. One, I was glad to see him supporting agents because there are too many attacks on police and agents. There has to be more significant penalties. I did not like the way that he relitigated history. For God's sakes, the guy won. Let's get past things and move on to solving problems. And I didn't really think that going after lawyers is a great thing to do. I mean, lawyers do an unpleasant job. They don't always agree with the positions that they're told to take. In this instance, he said he was going to weaponize the government, but he's weaponizing it against lawyers and lawyers that are just doing their job. So I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I figured you wouldn't be. He's going after this firm Perkins Coie in a big way. Okay, thanks for coming in tonight. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.